Hey guys, back with another video. I want you to grab a notepad and open it up, and at the top write life manual. Go back as far as you can and write down your core memories that were not pleasant. Right? If you can remember back to when you were 3 and something happened, or 4 or 5 or 6 or however long back you can remember, and start writing those things down that really affected you negatively, whether it was fearful or it was traumatic or anything that you believe could have affected you in a negative way. And I want you just to write down all of those things. All right, it's going to take a little bit of time. I know you're going to have to spend some time doing that, but this is an amazing exercise. Once you get all of those things written down, I want you to really look at it long and hard. Right? What's going on is you have massive amounts of negative experiences from your environment that you're in. We don't have many positive experiences. And when I say positive, I'm not talking about getting an A or, having a good friend, or right. Those are great things too. But like actual winning, having lots of extra money, being able to go on vacations wherever we want, whenever we want, with whoever we want, for as long as we want, driving the kind of car that we really want to drive. Being able to, when a family member's in financial trouble or whatever's going on, being able to solve that problem for them without thinking about it. Being able to donate as much as we want. Being able to eat the kind of foods that we really want to eat. It's really hard to expect to win when all of your old core memories are negative. And if you don't go back to the very beginning and work through these core memories, you can't erase the past. You have to actually work through it. Now, it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out process, but it does have to be thorough, right? And so when you find all of those things, I want you to really circle the one that you just truly believe is the one that just affected you the most. Whether it was your parents got a divorce, or you lost a sibling, or an aunt died, or a grandma, or something that affected you extremely hard that it still affects you when you think about it. Right? We stuff everything down, and we never actually get it out of us onto a piece of paper and work through it. And what all of this stuffing does is it forms your personality. When you're not aware of what's going on, your personality is directly linked to the life that you've lived up till now. And there could be one thing that you need to change that could change your personality from unhappy to happy, or from negative to positive, or from bitter to joyful, or from resentful to happy, or from fearful to faith, right? And so these things happen in our lives and it affects us traumatically. And once you start putting these things down on paper and actually circling the one that is the worst and working through that, and then you're going to look at the one you circled and you're going to ask yourself, is this in me or is this on this piece of paper? Right? It's scientifically proven that 50% of our thoughts, our old thoughts that we're thinking about from previous times, we've fabricated in some way. We've added on to them, or we don't really remember them that well. So we've kind of changed the narrative as time's gone on. And as you start working through that thing and you start saying, this thing happened to me, right? I didn't cause this thing to happen. So why is it still affecting me the way that it is, right? And you use my journal to work through that. You write at the top, I am so happy and grateful. And you write in, now that this experience that I had, I've worked through. And you might have to do that for 90 days on that one thing that really is still lingering, right? Or you might be able to do it in a week, or a day, or a month, right? It just depends on how embossed it is in your cells, right? Something happens, we take a snapshot in time of that event and we put it in our memory, right? It never goes away. It's in every cell of your body. You have to work through these things. And as you start knocking these things out, at the end of your journal entry, you need to be writing down notes and thoughts so that a week or two later, you can look back and connect the dots. Wow, I'm feeling way better about this thing that I've been working on. Right? You will start to see how this journal you'll devour all of these old beliefs and all of these old memories and all these things that are holding you back. We need to get rid of all of the old negative so that we can start expecting positive. Everything in our experience is most likely on the negative aspect because that's what most people are living in, right? They don't have enough money, or they don't feel good enough, or they don't have self-esteem, or they've had bad experiences in relationships. I mean, all of these things, none of that's positive. It's all negative. So we have to work through these things and we have to get rid of them. I was born in a drug-infested, alcoholic family. I became a drug addict and an alcoholic. If I can change, there's no doubt in my mind you can't change. I know you might not believe that, but I know that that is true. So if you need to use my belief in you, start doing that. Right? What's going to happen is you start knocking these things out. You're going to start to feel so much better about yourself. And then you can really start shifting the pendulum towards things that you really desire, that you really want, that would fulfill you and make you feel like you're really living. It's hard to feel like you're living and accelerating. It's just status quo. You're just staying the same. If you were just to look back 5 years, your results haven't changed very much, unless you're doing some of these things that I've suggested. I promise you, your income hasn't gone up that much. I promise you, your debt's gone up. We have to start changing our mindset. Your mind is set. Somebody set it for you. And it's also been set through all of these things that have happened to you in your existence, right? And I know this sounds like you think you've worked through some of these things, and I promise you, most of you have not. Now, there's some people that have, and they're really good and diligent, and they know how to do this stuff. But most of us were never taught how to deal with any of this stuff. You're never going to get where I want you to get if you don't start changing your habits and your beliefs. And your beliefs are directly linked to these things that have happened to you, which is a direct reflection of your personality. And if you have a negative personality, it's hard to have a positive reality. It's impossible. It can't be done. I need you to understand that. It's not possible. You can have some wins and you can think that you're living a good life. Maybe you make more than your friend or more than anyone in your family, but you're not separating by any stretch of the mean. You're squeaking out a meager existence because you think, well, I make more than so-and-so, so I'm doing good. No, you should constantly be having giant leaps in your reality. And I know you might not believe that right now, and that's okay. It's why I really want you to do all of these exercises that I've been asking you guys to do. Right? We're getting into the last journal of the year. And if you were a mentee of mine and I was mentoring you, this would be about the time you'd start creating something of value. I would be getting you out of working mode, paid by the hour, into creating assets that create income, right? That's what I don't think you can be free as an employee. I know that some people have really good, they're living a decent life, but the economy can crash and you're wiped out. A fire can happen and burn everything you own down to the ground, and the insurance is not going to pay you what everything was worth. Like you're a couple of things away from a catastrophe if you're an employee. So please do these exercises, write these things down, and really start working through these things that are issues. And if you need, please reach out. Just ask a question. Hey, I'm struggling with this. What do you suggest? Right? I can give you a phone call or whatever. If you're willing to do that, I would love to jump on a phone call and just in 15 minutes, I can tell you some things that you're just unaware of. Or if you want some mentorship, I will be your mentor. I'm totally cool with that, but you don't just get to be a mentee. You have to be an action taker. So you can do this. I promise you can do this. It's not as hard as it seems. It seems overwhelming because everything's up here and you don't have everything written out and out of you. Once everything's out of you, then you're just looking at things and you're picking and choosing what you're going to do, right? And then it becomes super simple. And you start working through these things, and pretty soon there's nothing left to work through. Now, pretty soon, your mindset shifted and you're starting to be a creator. Please like and subscribe. Please ask questions. Thanks, guys. We got some stuff coming out next week, I believe. I don't want to speak too soon, but we've really been working on a lot of things. Massive opportunities if you're willing to take the action step. right? So think about it, please. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Keep smiling. Bye.